What's your New Year's revolution?
Start a revolution.
I think some people beat you to it.
That wasn't a revolution. That was a circus.
Resolution.
What's the problem?
The problem is you can't even have a revolution unless it's already a part of the man's agenda. It's resolution.
Yeah. To what problem?
No, not solution. Resolution.
Solution is what you use to clean out your contacts.
That's saline solution. And I'm not talking about to solve a problem either.
That's carpet cleaner.
No, that's resolve. You know what I just thought about? If we ever go back in time and we have to prove we're from the future, we can't even say that Trump gets elected president.
Why?
Because they'll just say we saw it on that Simpsons episode. Do you think the writers of The Simpsons did that on purpose? To screw over all future time travelers?
Future time travelers? Or past time travelers?
Whoa.
Okay, so you have a time machine, right? And you've already killed Hitler, obviously. What is the next thing you do with it?
Stop my parents from ever meeting.
Whoa, dude! I forgot you were even here. Wait, why would you do that? You'd never be born.
Exactly. I'd probably go back to the counterculture and protest the Vietnam War. Now that was a revolution.
Do you think that was someone's goal at the start of the new year?
It's New Year's resolution, not revolution.
What?
Coming back for another segment of Wattpad Roulette. I'm your host, Kaz. Let's meet our contestant. Please, say your name for everyone.
My name is James.
Great.
Woo!
Today we have a very special edition of Wattpad Roulette. Instead of having a wheel of unproblematic men, I've already hand-selected a wheel of stories, all of them Harry Potter themed. James is going to spin from the wheel of stories today because, let's be real, all of the men in Harry Potter are a little problematic. I mean, am I right? Once he does that, I'm going to read a chapter from one of these delicious tales, and if James can make it to the end of the story without asking me to stop, he's going to win a special prize that's either really good or really bad, depending on how you look at it.
Oh boy.
And here's the spin.
Between his warmth and his wrath.
A juicy one today, folks. Let's get to it. This is a story called Between His Warmth and Wrath, and it is a story about Tom Riddle. Tick, tick, tick. The sound of the clock rattled through my head with every passing second, seeming to get louder with every resounding tick. Dumbledore had been talking relentlessly about turning cats into cacti for about 25 minutes. And I don't think I could have repeated a single word he said. When enduring virtually the same lesson for the third time, the mind inevitably wanders, and as a creature of habit, my mind wandered to him. His raven hair, his chiseled features, his dark eyes, the way he towers above me and has to lean down to kiss me, the feel of the base of his pelvis fitting perfectly against the peak of mine, the exquisite contrast of his burning heat and the icy wall as he pins me against it, using his whole body against mine, knowing his own strength. Thinking of him near me, touching me, I found myself automatically tightening my thighs beneath the desk, my hips grinding only slightly, sending an ecstatic warmth throughout my core. This girl This girl, she didn't say, oh, we gotta chuck those out the window. She said, oh, I'm riding this way.
Like, let me feel this a little bit more.
Jarring me out of my distracted state, the heavy door groaned as it was opened. This is my best Dumbledore. Tom? Butterflies rattled my stomach. As I understood it, you were to be absent for the entirety of today's lesson. Has there been a change of circumstance?
That's your best Dumbledore?
It's been a while since I've heard Dumbledore talk. All I can hear him say is like, did you put your name in the goblet of fire? It's hard to get Dumbledore. Can
It's
you
hard.
do Snape?
No.
Obviously.
Obvious.
And you were unsuccessful?
That was good.
I can do
Imelda Stampton. What's her name? No, the actress.
Dolores
I'm talking about the
Umbridge.
actress is Imelda Stampton.
I can Google her
Cut
right
that
now.
part out because that's embarrassing for me.
I turned and there he was, the light from the window falling on him like a spotlight. No, you aren't mistaken, sir. I'm afraid I only came for Scarlet. Her presence is demanded elsewhere. Very well, Riddle. Good day to you both. As I rose from my chair, my legs were practically trembling in anticipation of his touch. My teeth dug into my lip as I met his eyes, telling him exactly what I wanted. The contact between our eyes was as strong as the contact of our skin, his vision bearing into me, thrilling my soul. And just like that, he drew his eyes away, his face telling nothing, but his eyes telling everything. Everyone being there, watching us, completely oblivious, was more exciting than anything else could have been. The thought that people would probably work out what we were really doing made me struggle to keep my composure. I wanted them to know. It only made it more exciting. So, just based off of these first few paragraphs, what house are we feeling that Scarlet's in?
Oh, she's definitely a dirty Gryffindor. Her name's Scarlet.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I reached the door and he shifted ever so slightly, causing a minimal but definite grazing of our skin. He sluggishly pulled the door shut. Don't do it to me! Once the door was shut, he wordlessly took hold of my wrist, his fingers applying impossible pressure as he strode through the halls at such a pace I had to trot behind him. After 3 sharp lefts and an unnerving quick descent down a staircase, he practically threw me into the Slytherin common room.
So she's probably a Slytherin.
Well, I
You
think...
can get her in there.
Well, no. Other people can visit the other common rooms.
Sure.
I think
No,
he
I
would-
actually don't think that's true.
Wait, other people can go in the other common rooms?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100% positive.
Let's just say until we find out otherwise.
Definitely a slutty Gryffindor.
She's a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
No one will be in here for at least 15 minutes. That's not very long. I toyed with the hem of my skirt, coyly drawing it to the limit of my modesty. Someone could come back early. We both know you like to get caught, Scarlet. His voice was rough. We both know you like to get caught, Scarlet. I responded with the lowest, most subtle of moans at the thought, and that pushed him over the edge. He strode over to me, his muscles appearing to almost swell to twice their size, exerting a power and dominance one could ordinarily only imagine. His huge hands took me roughly by the waist, his lips colliding with mine in an aggressive embrace, my body being crushed between him and the wall as the force of our collision drove me into it. My hands reached to intertwine themselves around his neck, but before they could, his hands left my waist and took me by the wrists, pinning them above my head and holding them there in an ironclad grasp. With one hand holding my wrist as high above my head as I could reach, the other expertly untucked my shirt from my skirt and ran his hand across my stomach, feeling my skin.
Can you expertly untuck his shirt? I feel like that one's not that hard. I thought it was going to be like unclasp the bra.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think expertly just, implies that, this isn't their first rodeo.
No.
It isn't his first rodeo with the single hand untucking of the shirt.
I'm just-
I would definitely feel like I was in trouble. He quickly drew his hand from under my shirt and in one fluid motion popped every button on my shirt by tearing each piece of thread with sheer force. Don't break my shirt.
Girls, how she's supposed to get out of the common room.
His eyes separated from mine and they landed on my chest, shielded now only by a thin layer of black lace, which I was very aware hid nothing. Every muscle in my body contracted with sheer burning desire, and he felt it. He utilized it. I watched him intensely. I watched the hunger in his eyes as he stared at my chest. His hand moved to where his vision lay, grasping my breast, molding it with his fingers, rubbing and squeezing at his lips placed a kiss on my jawline, the tip of his tongue. Lightly following the touch of his lips, he planted another in the curve between my neck and my jaw. I arched my neck, allowing him easier access, and he responded in kind, planting a trail of electric kisses, tracing the lines of my neck with the tip of his tongue until he reached my clavicle. With his teeth, he teased me, gripping my clavicle slightly between his teeth and sucking exquisitely. He sucked once more and then proceeded down to my heaving breasts, kissing my peak over the lace. I made the mistake of trying to move my hand to remove the lace, and his grip tightened threefold. Imagine like hooking up with Tom Riddle and then like at your like 10-year Hogwarts reunion, he's fully Voldemort.
You're like,
his hand moved from my throat and undid the front clip of the lace. Oh, so she's one of these. A front clip bra. Please don't make me say that word. Yeah, maybe if I sing it, it'll make it less weird. His mouth immediately landed on my treating me like a chew toy.
No.
Tom, my voice trembled. Oh, she's gonna make me say it! I hate when they say this! I want you. I felt him chuckle into my mouth. I'm gonna say this once and only once. Inside me, Tom. He hoisted my tights down my thighs and proceeded to impatiently tear them off. He balled them up with one hand. They're saturated, he smirked.
Oh.
His hand slid up my thigh, and as he approached his destination, I'm just hearing like Siri, like a GPS, your destination is on the right.
Yeah, I think this time it's straight ahead.
They're doing this in the middle of the common room.
Middle of the day, middle of the common room. At this point, they have like 2 minutes left before people walk in.
We got through that sentence. I'm willing to bet that it gets worse before it gets better.
How much longer do we have? Like, give me like a rough.
Okay. 2 paragraphs. You're almost done.
We're almost done.
Ecstasy overwhelmed me, and my cries practically turned into screams as his grunts grew stronger and stronger.
Can I just input here?
Yes.
I think about it the whole time. We have a very like bestiality manifestation of Tom Riddle in this chapter. They do the growls and the grunts. Very like almost lion-esque. Why aren't we like hissing and like?
Oh, like why isn't he being compared more to a snake than like something else?
Right, because I feel like snakes maybe aren't as like dominantly sexy, but like we could be slithering.
You trying to slither in?
Exactly.
I also just think that Tom Riddle like just didn't have this much confidence.
No, he's
about
a virgin.
Voldemort?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why else would you be so mad all the time?
Right.
Well, a lot of people think that like Bellatrix and Voldemort are hooked up.
Well, in A Cursed Child, that's dropped as like a probable.
I feel like maybe he's not a virgin, but I feel like he definitely did it one time and like didn't like it.
I feel like he's almost like an asexual.
Yes, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to say this like as fast as I can? Will that make it better?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He crashes like on mine, his breath forceful against my cheek. I knew he could feel my pulse growing stronger in his member because his energy only seemed to grow. His pelvis crushing against me so violently, I almost could feel myself losing. He knew I was nearly there, his grip on my behind tightening as my legs began to tremble, and I finally released with him inside of me, every single atom of my body exploding at once, my cries relief allowing him to finish. The crossing was more strength than ever before until every muscle in my body contracted. His grip on my wrist tightening so much I thought they might snap.
He may have been the only thing that was holding me up, but he wasn't in control. He was just himself, and I loved him. Congratulations, James! You made it to the end of the chapter! Would you like to see your prize?
Oh, I'd love to see my prize, and I really just hope it was worth it.
Okay, close your eyes. It's an ice cream cake!
An ice cream cake? That's kind of fun.
Well, thank you so much for being a contestant on Wattpad
for having me, Todd.
The show where nobody wins. Take care, everyone. Thank you.